Think about anything you want to achieve in your life. It can be something you can do in a few months or maybe even a few years. How are you going to make that happen? Now I want you to think of a time that you fell short of or failed a goal you wanted to achieve. I know it's not fun to resonate on our past mistakes, but it is extremely influential for growth. I've failed a lot in my life, more than I would like to admit. Some people would say that's what makes me human. Sure, that might be accurate. However, there's always a way to accomplish what you want to do. There was always a way for me to accomplish what I wanted to do. I just lacked consistency. Consistency will alter how you live your life in the best way you can imagine. Failing is a natural part of being human. It happens to all of us. However, there are ways for us to set ourselves up so that we don't repeat our past mistakes in our future. Consistency in our effort, regardless of setbacks, will ultimately lead us to significant personal growth. Again, I've failed more times in my life than I would like to mention, yet there is one failure I will never let myself let go of. I started cross country my junior year of high school and instantly fell in love with the sport and running. I was scared of starting earlier than that. Running a 5K didn't sound fun to me. Now let's be honest. If you've ever tried cross country, the running is not the fun part. It's the way you feel after that makes you desire to do it more. For me, at least. In my junior year, my team of 6 boys barely made it to state by securing the 3rd place in our region. At that time, I was our 4th runner, and now, out of a team of 6, being 4th wasn't the greatest feeling ever. Flash forward to my senior year, all 5 other guys had either graduated or moved on to different schools, leaving me as the fastest on the team. My new team only had 4 boys, and you need 5 to compete at regions, meaning that if I wanted to go to state, I would have to make it by myself. I had a feeling this would happen and told myself my junior year that I'd train over the summer to be prepared to make it by myself my senior year. It would have been extremely difficult to make it without that training. An April 19th, 2022 article written by David Roshan, the trail runner, said, "You optimize your form and aerobic development by doing lots of running over a long period of time. With constant practice needed for both neurological and physiological adaptations, at the same time, the volume and intensity you can do are limited by injuries that stem from impact. Do too much too soon, and you'll have to go back to the drawing board and start over." I had a goal that required me to stay consistent and build myself in a way that could compete at that level. However, I spent the summer running when I felt like it instead of running consistently. The top 15 runners qualify for state at regionals, and I wanted so badly to be one of those. It was the only thing I had cared about for months. I ended up placing 22nd and not earning a spot at state. I remember how it felt coming across that finish line. I had already had tears in my eyes knowing I didn't make it. It was after I had finished my race, I was lying on the ground, uncontrollably devastated, when my friend's mom walks up to me and says, "It's okay, Sam. It's all over now." Unfortunately, she was right. I would never receive the chance to compete in that way ever again. This caused me to be at one of the lowest points I've ever been in my life. I could have had it, I should have had it, and I would have had it. I just stayed consistent with running. But I didn't. I failed myself, and I have to live with that. It takes courage to show weakness, a weakness that can be avoided by staying consistent. I never want to put myself in a position like that again. Now, just like consistent practice makes you a better runner, consistently investing your money will provide you with a better financial future. Consistent investment is essential for financial success. Performing well in a race requires constant practice over a long period of time. Just like running, money should also be invested consistently over a long period to perform well in the future. Consistent investments into compound interest accounts will make you thousands to millions if you don't take any of it out and you leave it. This is all dependent on how early you start and how serious you are about your financial health. According to a December 18th, 2018 article written by Robert Reek in The Guardian, quotes, "Almost 80% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck." It then goes to explain, America doesn't have a job crisis, it has a good job crisis. While the truth in this statement relies heavily on the interpreter, these statistics can be avoided. The perfect time to start investing is now. I have an investment account with Vanguard that I consistently invest in every month that I started around 16. If my projected earnings stay true, I'll be a millionaire before I retire. I believe that everyone should save investable funds every month, even if it's as small as $20. You'll thank yourself later. Einstein once said, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Why wouldn't you take advantage of that? Now that we've explored the importance of consistency in the realms of physical fitness, personal achievement, and financial stability, I want to turn our attention to another crucial aspect of success: personal development. Just as consistent training would have led me to my goal, and consistent investing builds financial security, the same principle applies to our ongoing journey of self-improvement and skill building. Consistency in personal development. By committing to ongoing self-improvement and skill building, we witness significant growth and success across various facets of life. It's rarely ever seen that someone has perfected a skill on their first try. Practicing new instruments, learning a new language, or even developing public speaking skills are prime examples of what I'm getting at. In an April 5th, 2021 article written by Bobby Kuntz in the relationship between consistency and personal growth dedication, it is stated, to grow, we must commit to the growth process. Growth cannot be forced any more than the growth of a child or a tree can be forced. Growth takes time. Growth also takes consistency. As Kuntz says, we have to stay consistent to grow. Getting more into the examples listed previously, dedication to practicing an instrument not only enhances musical skills, but also fosters discipline, patience, and creativity. As proficiency grows, individuals gain a sense of accomplishment and self-confidence. Now, there's one thing that is required to be efficient in any three of these examples: consistency. Consistency is seen in every aspect of our life. It is said that it takes 10,000 hours to master an instrument. How are you going to achieve that if you aren't consistent? You are also not going to pick up a new language entirely either. And public speaking just comes with practice and time. All in all, to get where you want to be in your life, you have to stay consistent. Consistency, whether in personal development or financial investment, is the key to significant growth and success. Just as consistent practices enhances personal skills, consistent efforts in both areas pave the way for a better financial future and personal advancement. Consistency will alter how you live your life in the best way you can imagine. You will fail and you will succeed. It all just depends on how much you discipline yourself to stay consistent. Thank you.